In this video, I'm going to tell you 5 ways to see and capture more in wildlife photography. This is 5 for Friday. One of the things that I believe in very strongly is the idea of very high awareness. And contextual awareness is something that is very important in photography and especially in wildlife photography. In jazz, we talk a lot about musicians that have big ears. That means that they are people who listen a lot. They're very aware of what is going on, which then gives them the ability to identify things that are happening and opportunities. In the same way, in photography, and especially in wildlife photography, you need to have effectively big eyes. You need to be able to see what is going on and be able to predict what is happening. And that means that you need to be able to do certain kinds of things, both when you're looking for animals as well as when you're actually photographing the animals. So let's talk more about this. The first way to see and capture more in wildlife photography is to stop looking directly for the animals. When you are trying to find a particular species, it's very easy to get tunnel vision and to just keep looking for the species directly, looking at eye level, looking far ahead, and you really need to be looking around everywhere. For example, look down. That's where you find tracks, that's where you find scat and signs of the animals. The other thing is that if you're looking for a certain species, like let's say a predator like lions or leopards, often the prey are the animals that you really should be looking at, because they are the ones who will make alarm calls when they think there are predators in the area. So look where they are looking, and also listen for any sounds that they make, any alarm calls that they make. The second thing is that when you're actually shooting through the camera, it's really easy to also get tunnel vision at that point. It's really important to take the time to put the camera down and look around and make sure that you're not missing things. One of the easiest ways to miss things is because you're chimping. If you don't know what chimping is, that means you're looking through images that you've already taken. You can do that later on. The third thing is that when you're shooting, you will have your eye up to the viewfinder and you'll have your other eye closed. You need to develop the ability to open this eye from time to time and look around as you're also looking through the viewfinder and perhaps also even shooting. It can be tricky, but it just takes practice. The fourth thing is that you need to get really good at predicting what will happen. When you have animals, when you have an environment that they're in, and when you have light, all of those things are changing all the time. The animals are doing different things, they're moving around within the environment or perhaps moving to a different environment, and the light is changing all the time. One of the things that's great about shooting with a manual exposure and shooting with prime lenses is, although it does make things more complicated, in a way it forces you to prep more, because when you see something happening or about to happen, you want to be ready with the right exposure and with the right focal length, which may require you to switch to another camera for when the event actually happens. So it forces you to get prepped ahead of time and it forces you to think ahead more, and that's the kind of thing that we all need to be doing more of. And the fifth thing is that it's easy to get tunnel vision on the subjects that you're actually shooting. You need to think about how you go beyond the subject and look at the scene and look at the story. Often the subjects are in a particular place for a particular reason, and their behavior is also part of the story. So think about how you capture those things. And it's not just about taking environmental shots with a wider field of view. It's also about looking for the interactions between the animals and their environment, or between the animals and other animals. I hope you found this video helpful. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please post down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.